Okay, guys, welcome back. This is Jay, and we're working on a model here, the made-to-order manufacturing. So I had a client say, raised a couple issues mainly around the waste mechanic. And so the model currently does waste as a percentage here. So percentage of units wasted not sold. This represents a percentage of all units produced that end up becoming a total loss for whatever reason. It comes directly off revenue. I model assumes 100% of production is produced from orders, so you have the cost there, but in terms of cost, but this percentage lets you take some of that out if it makes sense for your situation to account for not selling 100% of production. Okay, so we're made to order manufacturing. Obviously, you're making things and selling them. Um, and so it was brought to my attention that it was slightly off in the fact that the model was reducing things off of revenue based on that percentage. However, the the collections was off, and it was slightly. And here I'll explain why. And it still got you to the correct cash number, or very pretty close to it. But here's the variance with how it was before I did this update. And I'll explain the update too. So it was assuming you were collecting 100% of whatever you sold, and it was overstating revenue. So those were the two things that, yeah, I agree, it was overstating revenue. Um, but it was getting you to the correct cash amount because in the end, for the cash amount, you were basically reducing out the earned revenue, adding back the cash collected from customers, so that kind of zeroes out. And then you have the waste hitting in an expense, which reduces cash. So in the end, um, you were still netting the net amount of sales at assuming waste. Like, so you had, let me see if it's easier to explain. Let me go here. So in the old model, it was like this: $100 in sales. Let's say waste was $5. This was going to be an expense. Then you had, let's say you collected the cash in, a couple months later. Let's say this is month 1, 2, 3. Okay. So in cash flow, we would see a increase here, but then we would reduce it. We'll put this reduction here because it was, let's say this was the sale, and we're not gonna go unearned revenue or anything. We're just gonna say there was a sale here. Um, we shipped it out, so we recognized a revenue of $100. And however, we didn't collect any cash yet, so we got to zero that out and actually add the cash back. So you have this. Okay, so no effect. And then here, okay, we actually got the 100. So this hits cash flow, and it's assuming the full 100 hits cash flow. This -5, however, hit cash flow in the month of the sale. Or really, yeah, it was unrecognized revenue before. So you can see net, you end up with 95. Um, your revenue is overstated here, though. It shouldn't be 100, it should actually be 95. So the new way the model works is you will see revenue, we'll say a similar situation, you'll see revenue at 95, no line for waste, it's just actually the waste is affecting the top line revenue now. 95. And then we are still zeroing that out, assuming cash collections is happening in month 3, but we recognize the sale and the shipment of the product here in month 1. Um, and the model also can handle prepayments before shipping. Um, you'll see on the balance sheet it can do, you've got accounts payable, you've got unearned revenue, you also have accounts receivable. So it's got all that logic, but this, okay, so 95, and then what happens in month 3 is you will collect the 95 here. Now the net effect of this first one, so 100 -5, we end up at, let's do the actual math here. So we have 100 plus this plus this. Oh wait, this is already doing that. Okay. So you end up at 95, which makes sense, right? You had 100 produced, so your cost is going to be based on the 100 units, but your revenue is going to be based on the waste. In this case, it's 95 here. Now here, we zero it out, so you're at the correct revenue now. It should be 95, not 100, because even though you produced 100 units, you only actually sold 95 because 5 were waste. Okay, so the effect is 0 here on cash flow, but now you have the 95 here. So that's the crux of it. So both model, how the model worked before and how it works now, you got to the same net cash flow number, which would in this case is 95. But in the old version, you had overstated revenue and then your actual cash offsets were incorrect here. In theory, you had a little bit more cash than in the old model because you weren't taking that waste as an expense up front, and then overstating revenue, um, and then adding that back. So really this was showing a less cash flow. And really you just zeroed this out. You don't have that 100 revenue, you have 95, and then you collect the cash for it in month 3. So there's actually the $95 coming in rather than $100 coming in later, but you took the expense earlier. So your cash flow was a little bit wonky. It still netted to the same number in the end, but this is the more correct way to do it because you get the reason why I did the update is because I didn't like the idea of revenue being overstated. So this is the clean waste fix now. This is how it works, and you can see in the model, if we just did a quick example, and this was done on the made-to-order manufacturing, the alternate version, and the main version. So there's two versions of the model that are slightly different. Both of them have the update, and I could show you. So let's just go do this one first. Let's just say we had a 100 unit order here. You can see we need to figure out all the costs for the 100 units, but as we go across, our waste in this example is 3%. So really we only sold 97 of the 100 produced units. So let's just go to the income statement here. So we produced 100, and I believe the sales price was 80,000. Okay, but we had 5 or 3% waste, so really it should be 776 is what we actually sold when we shipped it out. So here's that number right there. But our costs are the full amount, and our costs here, I mean, these are just arbitrary numbers, but our cost for type 1 unit is $80, so 100 of those would be 8,000, and you can see on the income statement, here's our materials cost, 8,000. So we're paying for the cost of the full 100. We're only selling 97. And then you've also got some direct labor, the direct labor, variable manufacturing overhead. These numbers are both based on the total units. So here you've got direct labor cost per unit at 220. So it still costs you the amount to make the stuff. It's just you had some waste. So here at 100, it would be 22,000. And if we go to the income statement, you can see there's the 22 and the variable manufacturing overhead at 10,500. That's based on 105 times 100 is 10,500, which you then see here. So this is the correct way to show it in accounting. And then if you go down, you can see on the cash flow statement, we actually, so here's our earned revenue, but we don't collect all that money up front. Instead, we have customer payments, and we actually have some prepayments in this case. So we collect some up front here, then we ship the unit month 3, then we collect the rest of the money a little bit later. And you can see the total amount collected now is 7,760,000, not the full 8 million, which is how it worked before, and it took a waste as an expense line in each month, which was not as accurate as this current way. So this works now. I'm happy with how it works. And I just put this simple example in here just to make it easier to explain on the base template. And if we go to the other version, you can see the same thing. This is the, yeah, that was the alternate version. This is the main version. So you got same numbers, same inputs, and the same outputs. So that all looks good. I do need to, the made to order manufacturing is due for an upgrade as well on, the cap table stuff, the equity injections. I've simplified, adding the sources and uses, and then updating some of the formats. I do need to do that, but the model itself is fully functional. It works fine as intended now with this new logic update. And you can see on the balance sheet we've got, in that scenario I just talked about, you've got some unearned revenue when you collect that initial cash before you ship it. When you actually ship it out month 3, okay, the revenue is now earned. So that's why you see it month 3 happening. And then we actually have a receivable since we only collected half. And so the receivables here. And we still owe that in May. It was finally paid. And that reduces the receivable out. So all that logic this is all automated. Once you input this data into the model, it all works. So it's a very good way to plan for cash flow, test economics, pricing, unit costs. You've got fixed overheads here in your equipment, and just see if the return on investment makes sense for the situation. So the core model works fine. It worked before with cash flow, but it was just slightly, like I just explained how the variance is. You had a slightly overstated revenue and slightly a different cash flow than in actuality based on the assumptions. So the main order manufacturing model has been quite popular. If you've purchased it in the past and you want the updated version, just email me and I'll send it no charge, obviously. And if you are interested in downloading it, you can go over to smarthelping.com. The made to order manufacturing, you can find it if you go to the home page up top here and then go to general industry. And then if you go to the second section down, there's manufacturing finished models. It's the top one right here. And that purchase 125 one-time fee comes with both versions that I just went through, the alternate version and the main version. Here's updates on that. I did add, so I did update this, I think it was like within 6 to 10 months ago. I added the improved direct labor and variable manufacturing overhead assumptions. And that was added to both versions as well. So, oh, and I think I did an update video on it too, or a write-up. Anyway, you can get that uh, at smarthelping.com on the manufacturing download page. Just add to cart, and then you can instantly download it once you've paid. You can also hire me if you want custom work, $275 an hour, or model auditing. And you can also buy the Super Smart Bundle here on the sidebar. If you want that, it comes for $500. You get all the templates on the whole site. And if you look here on the financial models, I've got hundreds of unique financial models. So I thought that was a very relevant update. I just found out about it yesterday or 2 days ago, and I did the update yesterday, and I sent out, obviously the client got it at no charge, and then it's now updated for the public. So a small change to cash flow, but better revenue because the exit value is based on trailing 12-month sales. So it's also relevant to the exit value to not overstate that revenue by whatever percent, even though it's likely to, would have been a small percentage. But yeah, I happy to get this updated. Always like to improve things where possible. So, like and subscribe. I will see you on the next one. And I think I have another. So I finished this past week. I also updated the private golf course financial model. So that's got a full upgrade. The same upgrade I'm planning on doing, hopefully to this. Maybe I'll do the upgrade for this one next week. But anyway, that update to the golf course model will be published on Monday and all set up. Um, and we'll just keep on keeping on. All right, guys, like and subscribe. See you later.